Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Whitney, and today I'm just going to be taking you guys on a little journey. So I gotta study and I also need videos. So this is what we're doing. We're doing this together. We're doing a studying vlog. And yeah, so as I'm on this little what do I want to call it? Torture? Yeah. While I'm torturing myself, because you know we all want an education, I'm listening to the Roommates podcast. Shout out to them. I really like their podcast. I became a subscriber like a couple weeks ago, and ever since then I've been like watching every single one of their videos when I get ready in the morning. It's really clutch. I really like them. And right now I'm watching Rebecca Lynn Pope talks women's unrealistic expectations of men, healthy romantic standards, and more. I really think everyone should check that out because it really kind of puts yourself into perspective when thinking about dating. And I'm going off on a rant, but it's very interesting because a lot of the things that she's talking about I have been through and I have experienced, and I have most of the things I have learned also with my experience with dating. And not only that, I know I just messed with the light, whatever, but not only that, with that being said, stay tuned for the next video that I'm going to be posting, because it's going to be talking about, I don't know if I'm going to be talking about emotional abusive relationships or my first heartbreak. So stay tuned. And if I ended up posting it before this video, it'll be linked in the cards. Probably right up there or right there, wherever it is. But let's get started. So first off, before I study, I like to write in my book because, oh Jesus. So this morning I went to church. Today's Sunday. I went to church and my pastor was like trying to say to everybody, like, don't block your own blessings, go forward. I even wrote down what he said, and it was very spiritual, very like enlightening for me. And he was like, wow, I already have it pulled up, but he focused on 2 Corinthians chapter 2, 14 through 17. And he was like, I'm called to this. That was the title of his thing. And then he was like, a couple key points that he stated was like, I'm bound to grace, love, mercy, forgiveness, you know, giving different examples. By grace, love, joy, mercy, forgiveness. Like whatever I go through, God is teaching me grace, love, joy, mercy, forgiveness. He was like, I'm a prisoner to the Lord Jesus Christ. And also, key points that he pointed was like, your confidence in Jesus eliminates comparison. God loves you so much that you look like him, that when you talk they see him in you. And also he like, I love it when some pastors try to connect like whatever's like current at the moment. They try to connect it into their sermons. And he was like, just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% loved by God. I'm like, really? But anyways, the purpose of me saying that is because like he made a comment that like, if you're an entrepreneur, don't go away from the first rejection, right? Keep going, because God is calling you to something. You have unwritten stories in your notebook. Keep going, because God is calling you to something. And I really felt that, because like I have a lot of stories. Like, wow, this is supposed to be a vlog. This is not even supposed to be that long, but here we go. So I have a lot of stories in my archive where I just like, it's a lot. Like I'm telling my story about my background. I tried writing a book about English majors. Don't know how far that was gonna go. That could have been like a short series. I was thinking about writing an anthology, because I was like, okay, I write a whole bunch of stories, but I don't complete them. But they're all over the place that I'm like, would that really make sense? And I'm not that great of a poet. Even though if I try really hard, I think I'd be okay. But I don't know if I can make an anthology of bunch of poems. But you know, like that, when he said, like, when he literally stated, you have a bunch of unwritten stories in your note pages, I want you to continue forward, like God is calling you to something. I was like, wow, I feel like he's speaking to me. And so with that being said, I want to start like writing back in my book, and it's called 300 writing prompts. I used to write in it every now and then because it would help with my mental state, because I do suffer from anxiety. And so with this, it kind of helps me come back down to earth, if that makes sense. Like instead of racing through my mind, going through all the different possibilities that things can go wrong, it's like, hey, pause for a second. Let's open up this book. I flip through it. I stick my finger down in it, and I'm like, okay, don't kick the camera. Let's write. And I also write like a bunch of dates in there as well. So here's the book, 300 writing prompts. It was a gift from Amazon. I think that's where they got it from. I really don't know. I think it's Amazon. But 300 writing prompts. I'm sure if you Google it, some version of this will pop up. And it's literally just a plethora of writing prompts. Like one of them literally states, do you use coupons? And it has like a bunch of lines for you to write about coupons. Like literally. And so let me just see if I can talk about one. Okay, so this one says, if you had the opportunity to write as a career, what would you write? And this was 11, I like to put dates on my stuff, but this was 11/7/17. So I had this for a minute. And it says, by me, I said, I'd be an author most definitely. I love writing, and if I could make an honest living just writing stories and poems, I would be incredibly content with my life. Technically, being a technical writer is writing and editing as a career, but it is just to make money. That's just being honest, because I feel like after like I've been going to church and like I don't go to church every weekend, but I go to church when I feel like, first when I feel like I need a story, I need a not a story, well I guess a story, yeah, I need a story, I need to be reconnected spiritually. And so I don't make it a point to go every weekend because I don't feel like, me personally, I don't know, of course going to church every weekend has benefits, I'm not saying it doesn't, I'm just saying for me personally, I don't know if I would be 100% happy and content if I went to church every single weekend, because I think for me I would start seeing it as an inconvenience. So I'm trying to play it smart so that way I don't end up resenting church again. And when I say resenting church again, you could check out my video, The Church and Me. I posted it a few weeks ago. I'll put it on the screen and you can check that out to see what I think about the church. And so moving on. And so where was I going with that? Anyways, yeah, I go back to church to feel spiritually connected. And lately I've been trying to make some life changes, if that makes sense. And my current career, being as a technical writer, I feel like I'm not looking at the big picture. I feel like I'm selling myself short because I wanted to make money. And like I wanted to make money fast. And then what's the fastest way to make money? Oh, a secure job. Okay, get a secure job, right? And that makes sense. And it's like, cool, I was making some good coin, but like, what are you called to do? And I don't want to sell myself short. I don't want to regret anything, which is why I was studying for the LSAT. Got my score back. Don't love it, but I'm taking it again in January, which is a-okay because now I know what it is like. And my score was like, I don't know if it was terrible. I think it was like slightly below average. And so my goal is like a 160. And yeah, I'm going off on a tangent. But anyways, so let's write in it. Let's get started. The goal for today is to film 2 Moving Up Mondays, film this video, and film one of my videos for the scope. And I'll tell you guys about the scope later on. So let's find a prompt. Ooh, this is a good one. What's one of your greatest blessings? I'm going to say, what's today? October 20th, 10, 20, 19. What time is it? 7:31 p.m. I'm going to say learning how to let go of toxicity. Learning how to not be bothered by toxicity. Boom, sensational. All right, and so the reason why I don't write like the reason why I don't write a lot of like a whole paragraph on these is because I want to be able to come back to them in the future and say, okay, what did I learn in 2019? What did I learn in 2017, right? And so maybe like 2 years from now, I can come back to this and say, okay, what's another blessing that I learned? And so here is when I just wrote, and I was like, what is one of your greatest blessings? And I said, learning how to let go of toxicity and not be bothered by others who do not have my best interest at heart. This, honestly, 2019 was definitely a year of letting go, because I don't like to let people go. I don't like to let anything go. I want to hold on. I want to make sure that everyone knows that I am there for them, because I don't want anybody to feel alone. And that's one of my biggest fears, to feeling like I am alone. And so with that being said, it's like, okay, the best way to not feel like you're alone, or that anybody else would feel like they're alone is to be the best friend that I could possibly be. And with that comes with like a lot of people who would eventually take advantage of you, or maybe not reciprocate the same type of loyalty that I probably would reciprocate. And so with that, I have lost friends, and it sucks, but at the same time I was just like, wow, I really needed to learn that lesson, because at the end of the day I was hurting myself. I was ruining things that could have been a great blessing for myself, and I was just tired. Like, I was just drained of giving so much so of myself and not receiving anything in return. And I know you shouldn't really do anything to receive anything in return, but when you're constantly drained, like, it's a balance. You're not supposed to give all of yourself into one person so you're not even thinking about your own personal health. And that's what I was doing. I wasn't thinking about my own personal health. And that was literally a lesson. It's October, and I've learned that lesson in 2019, which sucks because I didn't think I needed to learn that lesson. So as we continue forward, I have a few things for this rhetorical critic. Wow. So I have to study rhetorical criticism, and I'm going to read one more essay in here, and I'm also going to read a speech that we have to read and then write about it. And then I'm going to write my bills because I have to get groceries tomorrow, and I want to make sure that I have enough money for my groceries tomorrow because I have a cap, and so I guess I can just show you guys. Okay, so moving on to my finances. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to continue forward. Just paid off my car. Not paid off. Jesus, just paid the bill. Now we are on to this rhetoric. So that is it, everyone. I have just completed everything that I needed to do. I read my essays, I wrote about them, I gave a claim and a support, and so thank you for joining me today. Thank you for, I'm always hurting myself, Jesus. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining me today on this beautiful Sunday night. I know I mentioned this earlier, but I do want to remind you guys that I do have a new segment here on my channel called A Writer's Scope, where you send me any advice that you need, whether that be school, relationships, etc., whatever, literally anything that it is, and I will try to do my best and to give you the best advice that I can possible. Send it to this email that is on the screen, and if you don't see it on the screen, what are you doing? It's down in the cards below, and while you're down there in the description box, you might as well hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you never miss when I post a new video. And also, guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about this vlog. Do you want more? Do you want less? Do you want, I don't know, but anything that you want, send it my way. I will definitely respond if I can. Also, just to kind of give like a little hint there, whether or not this video goes up, I might have a new video from the scope, so just stay tuned. And if I do have it, I will definitely put it up. Thanks guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.